Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Zetha Agustino. My student number is 0436826667, and this video is for the courses English for Tourism. Today, I'm going to make a short reaction video to table manners 101 basic training attacked by the digital man. Let's watch together and learn how to behave properly at the dining table.
When you hear the words manners or etiquette, I know sometimes you might just think of, rules that you blindly have to follow just for the heck of it. But actually, that's not the case. At their core, manners are just about being considerate and respectful to the people around you. Table manners are particularly important because, well, let's face it, there's a lot more ways to gross someone out when you're eating with them.
So, here he say that table manners aren't just about strict rules. They are about being considerate and polite to others. I really agree with this point. Many people think etiquette is all questioned, but actually it's about showing respect to those around us. When we eat politely, we make others feel comfortable.
When you're slurping and chomping and burping and splattering versus when you're just like sitting next to them on a train reading a newspaper. Because of that, table manners have always been a good tell about someone's overall refinement, their upbringing, and their sort of sensitivity and kind of self-awareness around other people. So my thought is, even if you don't practice impeccable table manners at home, it is important to know how to behave properly for those important occasions. Today we're going to be talking about some easy to follow guidelines that will help keep your table manners on point throughout an entire meal. Sitting down at the table. So when you're just about to sit down at the table, that's a great time for you to silence your phone and put it away. You don't want to be that guy.
Now, they explain how to sit properly. Look, he is sitting straight, keeping his hands above the table but elbow of the edge. Sitting like the so confident and good manner that also helps you look respectful and prepared, especially in formal dinner.
His phone is going off during a nice dinner. The other thing you want to do is make sure and wait for everyone to gather around the table and about to be seated before you sit down yourself. And you may want to take a cue from the host or hostess. The first thing you do when you sit down is generally put your napkin on your lap. And in really formal settings, you would actually wait for an indication from the host or hostess to do this. But in most settings,
here, he takes the napkin and places it on his lap. That's the first thing to do after sitting down. The napkin is decoration. It is for keeping your hand and clothes clean. If you need to wipe your mouth, do it gently with the napkin. Do not wipe your whole face. And when you finish eating, place it neatly on the table, not crumple.
You're probably safest just to put your napkin on your lap when you first sit down so you don't forget. Of course, it should never go in your shirt. You should keep it in your lap, but your napkin is your friend, so feel free to use it throughout the meal to blot your mouth and keep it clean. Body language. When you're sitting down, your posture should be upright. You should try to avoid, slouching or leaning way back in your chair. Keeping your elbows off the table. So this is kind of a misunderstood rule. Of course, it isn't acceptable to put your, elbows on the table while you're eating, and in general, you want to kind of keep your free.
This is really important. Do not start eating until everyone has been served, or until the host begins. It's a simply rule that shows respect. Imagine you start eating while others are still waiting. That looks selfish and impolite.
Hand on your lap while you're eating, but it is actually acceptable to put your elbows on the table in between.
Here he reminds us that how we talk at the table also matters. We should chew quietly, avoid talking with food in our mouth, and wait until we have swallowed before speaking. Conversation should be light and polite, which keeps a nice atmosphere at the table.
Courses when you're not eating, and particularly after the meal, if you're just enjoying conversation with the other diners, you can put your elbows on the table, lean in, and it's totally fine. The place setting. Oh, the place setting. Nothing gives people greater anxiety than the place setting. You sit down and there's all these glasses and plates and...
Now, he saw how to hold the fork and knife correctly. Fork in the left hand, knife in the right. Use gentle movement when cutting food, and do not make loud sounds with the antennas. Small, quiet, and controlled motion look elegant and respectful. So for this video, I learned the table manners are not only about the eat. They are about respect, discipline, and kindness. Small action like the sitting properly, using the napkin, and waiting for others and show great character. Thank you for watching my reaction video. Once again, I am Zetha Agustino. Remember, God's manners never go out of style. Bye.